Republicans are unified behind a budget that will make this state more affordable for the hard-working families who are proud to call this great state home. And we've got a unified proposal. We're trying to work across the aisle to find real positive solutions that will keep the taxes in New Jersey low. And that's where we stand. We're working across the aisle to find solutions, hopefully some common ground with the Democratic majority. If the Democratic majority is unwilling to lead in this effort, then we certainly are.
And when do you anticipate July?
It will be a very busy next 2 weeks, but I am confident that this will all be done before July 1. It's unprecedented that the minority party would be asked to lead in this endeavor, but if that's the decision of the majority party, then we're certainly happy to introduce the bills, to support the bills, to move forward and find real solutions that will allow for long-term growth and affordability for the state of New Jersey. We're happy to provide that leadership. It's the right thing to do, to work on a bipartisan basis, work with the governor to say we need to keep taxes low, we need to reduce the overall tax burden on the hardworking citizens in New Jersey. We also need to reduce spending. This budget accomplishes that. I'm confident that the vast majority of what the governor called for in March will be the law of the land by July 1. It's going to be very busy next 2 weeks. There is still some areas where we need to have a discussion, but I'm confident that certainly before July 1 we will have a budget in place. That's the history of the state. We usually come together, we find the solution, maybe some fireworks in the process, but we all realize that the people in New Jersey need predictability. Everybody's known since they looked at this project in January that July 1 was the deadline, and it was some irresponsibility that went on a couple of years ago in 2006 that allowed fighting over a tax increase of all things that we will not allow to happen this year. 99% of what the governor proposed in March will be the law of the land. There'll be some areas where people are saying there may be some changes, some modifications, but the overall number will be the exact same number. There will be no increased spending from the governor's proposal in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, that's not true at this point in time. We're waiting for sponsors of the legislation. There's approximately 24 bills that need to be passed in conjunction with this budget bill. We do not have sponsors for any of those bills. As we begin to get sponsors, I will begin to post them and have debates and hearings on these pieces of legislation. I will say this, I believe the governor is now committed to, this will be his budget bill. We've provided alternatives. They've been rejected by the governor, so ultimately this will be a Republican bill, and they are committed to putting up their full complement of votes, both in the Assembly and the Senate. We will not shut government down. We will provide a balanced budget before June 30th. We have a list of some restorations. They will be revenue neutral, that we will be providing to the governor within the next 2 or 3 days, business days. So hopefully by the middle of next week, we will be able to sit with the governor, discuss some of the restorations that we're looking for, and then ultimately get a final budget bill from the Republicans. Again, this is the governor's budget bill, but there will be no shutdown. No, I think, and listen, in all fairness, negotiations, I'd rather not discuss some of those restorations. Nothing major and significant. It is a very difficult economic time, and the revenues are just not there to support some of these restorations. But there are certain constituencies, some of our most vulnerable constituents, who are suffering severely in this budget. And we're going to need to do what we can to help them.